some of the other topics that I would like to raise for the school board considerations. Currently, we haven't included them in the proposed OAG plan, but I would like to bring it to the attention of the school board in case if any of this should replace the one that I proposed earlier. The first one is about the FOIA and the FERPA process, Freedom of Information Act and the Federation Education Right and Privacy Act audit. We did not propose to do it in fiscal year 23, even though we have 3 school board members and 21 employees to suggest that, is mainly because this process is currently under reorganization. While we know that this is a critical topic to look at, we suggest to look at it after fiscal year 23. The second one is the telework audit. And considering that currently we already have the employee evaluation process audit, which is HR focused already, we suggested that
adopted.
So I think it will be best if it can be adopted before June 30th, as that's the fiscal year end. But we can work with the school board because we already have some of the audits ongoing, the carry forward one. So
to think about that. I think it's not a good idea that we have a work session and 2 days later we're voting. The other thing I will say is, if I understood you correctly, the FOIA FERPA audit, you mentioned not doing that at this time because it's currently under review and revision by the superintendent and his administration?
That's my understanding. Yeah.
Okay. Dr. Brabrand, I wasn't familiar with that. Could you just briefly say what does that actually mean?
Yeah, we're hiring some additional positions given the workload that's come out of that FOIA and FERPA office. And so that's some of the discussion. Obviously the board will determine it, but if you want to see what it means by putting the additional resources in and then how effective it is, we know we're understaffed right now and the volume continues to increase. Especially there's been some state legislator changes in Richmond that are actually only now going to make the volume higher. So we want to make sure when the board does look at the results of the audit that they're getting an accurate picture of what we have. But in the end, it's your all's decision of whether you want to do it now or wait a little bit longer until the folks are in.
Yeah, I know that tonight is not a work session, and I'm especially looking at my colleagues who are hoping. I really appreciate that it is not the work session yet. I would just say that, Ms. Coe, to give you a heads up, I'll want to probe that a little bit more. Maybe we'll talk offline before that 14th. Yeah. But what's going through my mind is continuous improvement is far more than just if we add more staff. I think there's a lot that we can learn about what's been working, maybe what's not been working. And it's great news, Dr. Brabrand, that we're going to bring on more staff. I completely understand with the changing landscape. But I also don't want to bring on more staff and we still have some things that we need to improve on the actual processes that we have in there. And so then the only other thing I'll say is, you know, I am a huge advocate on the project management, so I am also aware